You know, in any industrial setting, clear communication is everything. And I'm not just talking about being efficient. It's really about safety. So today, we're going to take a closer look at a tool that's designed to nail that communication, the Brady S3100 sign and label printer. Let's dive in and see what makes this thing a real favorite for the pros.
All right, so if you've ever worked in a facility or a lab, you totally get this. You need labels for everything. And they can't just be any old labels, right? They have to be clear, they have to be tough, and they have to be compliant. But the real headache is getting all that done quickly and easily. Think about it. Safety warnings, pipe markers, the whole shebang. So what do you do when you need top-notch professional labels like right now?
Well, that's exactly where this machine, the Brady S3100, steps in. This thing is an absolute workhorse. It's a specialized printer with basically one mission in life: to pump out professional-grade industrial labels exactly when and where you need them. Simple as that.
Now, I know what you're thinking. It kind of looks like a regular desktop printer, right? But don't let that fool you. The S3100 is built tough, specifically for industrial environments. We're talking clear, multi-line signs and labels for pretty much anything you can throw at it, from tiny, intricate circuit boards to massive pieces of machinery. And the whole point, the big goal here, is to make your workspace safer and way more organized.
Okay, let's get to the fun part. What do you actually get when you open the box? Brady really sets you up for success here. They don't just give you a printer, they give you a whole starter kit. Let's see what's inside.
So obviously you get the S310-W printer itself, but on top of that you've got your power cable, your USB cable, and check this out, a dedicated mouse and stylus. They even throw in a full cleaning kit with a cutter cleaning tool. Plus, a documentation holder and a quick start guide. I mean, this is a genuinely complete, out-of-the-box solution. You're pretty much ready to start printing the second you get it set up.
All right, let's peek under the hood and talk specs. What kind of power and precision are we actually talking about with the S3100? Let's break down some of the key features that really make this thing tick. So you see these numbers, but what do they actually mean for you? Well, that thermal transfer technology? That's your ticket to durability. It means these labels are not going to fade or smudge even in really tough conditions. And 300 dpi resolution? That's why your text and graphics are going to be super crisp and your barcodes will be perfectly scannable every single time. And with a max label width of 4.25 inches, you can make some seriously big, attention-grabbing signs. Pretty cool. Okay, this next feature it's a total game changer. Seriously. If you have ever wrestled with calibrating a label printer, you are going to love this. The S3100 has automatic label setup. You just pop in the media, and that's it. The printer figures everything else out. No more wasted labels, no fiddling with sensor adjustments. It is true walk-up and print convenience. It's just so easy.
And it's not just easy, it's also incredibly flexible. The S3100 works with Brady's whole B30 series of materials. So what does that mean? It means you can use these continuous rolls to make signs of any custom length you want, or you can use the pre-sized die-cut labels for those jobs you do over and over again. You get the best of both worlds.
So let's talk about volume. How much can this thing really handle? Well, this number right here kind of says it all. 600. That is the maximum recommended number of labels this printer can churn out in a single day. Let that sink in. This is not your average office printer, not by a long shot. This is a true industrial workhorse, built for places where labeling is a critical, basically non-stop job.
Okay, so we've covered the specs, we know it's powerful. But where does the rubber really meet the road? I mean, what are the actual, practical, real-world jobs where the S3100 just shines?
Well, this list pretty much covers the greatest hits. We're talking arc flash labeling, barcode labeling, all your Lean and 5S stuff, lockout tagout labels. The list goes on. Pipe and valve marking, panel ID, data center labeling, and just general facility and safety signs. If any of this sounds like your day-to-day, then yeah, this printer was literally designed with you in mind. It's purpose-built for these super critical tasks. All right, time for the final verdict. We've looked at the features, we've seen where it's used, so let's pull it all together and talk about the key strengths that really make the S3100 a standout piece of equipment. You know, there's a quote that I think just hits the nail on the head. The premier sign and label maker for facility and safety labeling. And that's exactly it. The S3100 isn't trying to do a million different things. It's laser focused on being the absolute best tool for facility and safety labeling, period. Now here's something you might not expect from a heavy-duty industrial printer. It's Ecologo certified.
So what on earth is that? Well, it means it meets these really strict environmental standards for things like the materials it's made from, the manufacturing process, and its energy use. So for any company that's really focused on sustainability, this is actually a huge plus.
Okay, so let's just recap the big takeaways here. The Brady S3100 is built tough for demanding industrial jobs. It's got that amazing walk-up and print simplicity, it's compatible with a huge range of labels, and as a bonus, it's Eco-Logo certified, which is great for its environmental impact. So, that brings us to the final question, and this one is really for you to think about. When you consider its speed, its durability, and that intense focus on safety and compliance, is this the labeling upgrade that your facility really needs? Could this be the thing that streamlines your workflow and takes your entire identification system to the next level? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me for this breakdown.